So our next practice, which is the fourth practice that I would recommend doing before you take on any sewing project, would be cutting yourself out a circular shape, or roundy or oval shape. Doesn't really matter, doesn't have to be perfect, but just be sure again and get 2 layers. And we're going to stitch along the edge of this, and the purpose of this is really just to practice stitching along a curve. It's a lot harder to organize the fabric to stitch along curves, so if we've just done a lot of straight lines on our pivots, it's nice to try a curve shape. The main practice is to get used to organizing the fabric and controlling the machine to sew along a curved edge. Again, just choose a starting position, put the lever down. What you're looking at here is that the edge of the curve is 1.5, along your 1.5 measurement line, but the curve, even by this point position, is already off that line, so I can tell that I'm going to have to maneuver with my hands to get this to continue to stay along that edge. So we need to have it lined up with the 1.5 where this needle is stitching, so at this point here. So my eye is constantly looking here at that point where the pin is, and my hands are trying to make this fabric move so that by the time it gets to there, it will be 1.5 away from the needle. Okay, so easier said than done. So we stitch along, and I'm pulling gently here with my left hand and here with my right hand to kind of maneuver it along. Okay, so just to bear in mind, I am quite experienced with this, so it probably looks quite easy when I'm doing it. So sometimes what happens when people aren't experienced enough to push it a lot so that there's too much happening there, they'll get tucks or things, or they'll end up stitching right off the edge because they haven't moved it enough. So they're the types of things. So just keep practicing with it. And that's the idea of it. It is a practice, it is a warm-up, so don't expect yourself to be able to do it straight away. Okay, you're also still getting used to your foot controlling the machine and moving forward and back, so it's totally fine if you're, I would actually recommend just doing a few stitches at a time. It's quite a good way to go. So when you get there, you can go all the way, but if you want to just have a little opening left, you could also make this into your practice into a little roundy cushion or a pin cushion or something like that. Okay, so there you have it. That's the practice of the curve. Again, sometimes people will go inside again and again just to keep practicing. The smaller the circle, the harder it is, so you can always start with a bigger shape if you like. So give that a go, and that will be a nice warm-up. And after you've done those 4 practices, once you've done your threading, you've done some free stitching, you've done some straight lines, a square and a circle, I usually consider people warmed up enough to take on their first sewing project.